Minds, it's your boy here, Dimitri. Just wanted to give a quick analysis of Gbpjpy and what my personal opinion is, and let's do it. Let's get into it. I had a little bit of a brain fart for a second because I just woke up not too long ago, but awesome. Okay, so I personally think that Gbpjpy could go down, and I'm going to give you the reason why I think that. So right now we're at a critical level, right? We're at a critical support level that we see right here. And we see prices hit a number of times. It's hit 1, 2, 3, almost here, and then 4, right? It's been near this area. So this area is obviously important. There's something important about this area because price has been hitting this since March 22nd of 2021, right? And we've seen price go up every time. So yes, it is a critical support area. But I'm thinking that now that it's hit this area more than once, is this the point of where it actually breaks through the level? And a reason why I think that is because we're on the weekly time frame. If you look at the candlestick, right, the body is very weak, right? It's not like a very bullish body like how it is here or even here, right? All these bodies have very bullish sentiment to them. Now, or even this wick back that we see right here, we can see that the buyers were pushed down by sellers at this level, right? So they're pushed down on sellers at this level. They have a very small body. And I usually give this example to my students, right? It's like you being 90 pounds and you're trying to go to the gym and lift up 150-pound dumbbells. You know what I mean? Or trying to lift up more weight than you could actually handle, right? And you've never lifted weights before. You're not going to be able to do that, right? You're going to drop the weights, you're going to hurt your arms, you're going to hurt your body, right? And the same thing applies with this, right? This is a very small body, and we can see the wicks are really long, right? And buyers are being pushed down at this level because sellers are coming in. The volume of sellers is a little bit more powerful, okay? And so I personally think because of this candlestick, we may start to see some selling volume push in. Now at the daily, right? At the daily, we can see that price is in consolidation for the past couple of days, right? And I'm not just going off today's day, I'm going off of the past couple of days. So when price is in consolidation, usually what ends up happening, right? When indecision happens, a decision happens, right? You want to decide what color shirt you're going to wear to work. You have to pick a color, right? Let's say you only have 2 colors to wear, which is blue or red, right? You got to pick a color. You can't go into work shirtless. You're going to have to eventually make a decision. And so the same thing happens with price. Price can't stay in consolidation forever. Price is eventually going to have to make a decision. And so in order to be a part of that decision is to recognize it and what's happening, right? So using markups, right? For example, we see 151.906 is a level of resistance. We also see 151.433 is a level of resistance. We also see 151.124 is a level of resistance. We also see at 150.379 is a level of resistance. So I like to use these levels, these KRAs, key resistance areas, as references to see how far price, is going up into the opposite direction until I can change my bias. Now, price has been hitting these levels for a consecutive amount of days for a very long time, and it's been in consolidation. Now, what I noticed is that even within this consolidation, there's more sellers than there is buyers. So we see a lot of sellers here. Buyers come here, but the selling pressure is too strong. Like it is leaving buyers at a lower area. And, once we get to here on December 7th, we see buyers try to come up again, right, for this desperate attempt. It's like somebody pushing your head underwater and you're gasping for air, right? And buyers are gasping for air and sellers are just pushing them back down to these areas. So in the wicks of these candlesticks, we can see the desperation for buyers to pull up again. Now, when you go to the 12-hour, we still see prices holding strong. Throughout this whole thing, we can see price is really holding strong at this area. Now I'm kind of looking at the hour to see how the hour reacts to this. If the hour reacts to this for a sell, then it gives me more confirmation that that my trade is correct. Okay. Now on the weekly, you can also see why I said that price was more than likely to go down because of the way that the candlestick has formed. Now I'm not going to just jump into the trade right away off of bat. I'm not going to use market execution for this order. I'm going to use a sell pending, and I'm not going to sell at this level right here. The reason why I'm not going to sell at this level is because I don't want to sell on the support zone, right? Like obviously price can dip just a little bit and then turn back around. We've seen that. So I would rather wait for price to move a little bit towards my direction, even if that's 85 pips, even if I got to sacrifice 85 pips, because this right here is still a support zone. You know what I'm saying? So you want to go back and you want to move it down just a little bit. Okay, so right here near this area, because we can see that there's resistance here. Price has resisted multiple times where it's come to this area, and it's been to this area a massive amount of times. Okay, so we could see that. So maybe like right here, like right here is good. Okay, and from here, off of this trade, off of this level, I'm going to enter into this territory, right? This territory of consolidation, because this is the territory right here of where price kind of slows down in this area. So we can see that on the volume chart here. So boom, over 290 pips. Okay. Now, if I were to sell market execution, right, once this breaks, then I'd be getting 149 pips. I'm getting almost 300 pip difference here on 146.895 to 144.202. So that makes sense to me. Also, what also makes sense is that price has been bullish for quite some time, right? We've seen a lot of bullish, and just on this weekly alone, we've seen a lot of bulls since last year, right? Since last year of 2020, price has been in a bull run. Okay, we got a little bit of pullback here around May, June, and July, and then we see price pulled up here one more time in 2021. Well, 2021 it was actually moving all through here. So yeah, so this area of in 2021, price was a little bit more choppy in this area. It kind of lacked direction for a little bit in 2021, and we could see that. Okay, now this is the highest point that price went within the year of 2021, and then it ended up collapsing back down to this floor level. So I'm thinking, now that it's at this floor level, is this bull run possibly over? That's been, since the last year. Is this bull run the turnaround for us to start putting in selling positions toward the bottom? Okay, and that's just kind of my outlook for that. Now we could also see that there is a trend line, which also gives us more confirmation of price. If price comes up to hit this level in wick, we can see that. And also obviously the resistance zone that I stated, right? So here we see price moved up, right? For one little pump, it moved up at 147.748, at 157.937, and then it came back down to these areas on POC. Okay, so we can see that that's there. Also, the TDI here you see is at 40.058. So that's why I'm kind of not entering yet. I'm waiting for the TDI to get as low as 25, and then we can start selling or seeing if we see any divergence at that point. This volume indicator lets you see the mass amount of consolidation that is also in this area for the weekly that's here. Okay, so there is that. So yes, I personally think Gbpjpy could go down. You can see the consolidation within this area. Right, we could see that here, consolidation playing out on the monthly. So there is that. What else was I gonna say? I just completely had a brain fart because I woke up not too long ago, so again, apologies. And that's pretty much it. That's my analysis. It's really just clean cut, pretty simple, nothing too crazy. Like I said, I wouldn't necessarily sell on this level because you don't know, like, price can easily just come back up. I would wait patiently. That's why I like pending orders, because it gives you time to reassess and think about the trade and actually get out of a trade. Then when you're in market execution, it's a very impulsive move. You're just entering a market because you don't want to miss out. So when I think of market execution, I think of like FOMO, because people don't want to miss out, and it's like instant gratification. Boom, I'm in the market. I'm in my market position. Where sell pending orders, they kind of give you time to reassess. So let's say the market hit at this level and then it's decided to go up, or even if it took a little dip here and then it decided to go up, it allows me to kind of reassess and say, okay, well, you know what? Let me get out of my position, and then I can change my bias towards, Gbp, JPY, if that makes sense. And here, it's not a guarantee, right? It's not a guarantee that price is gonna go down. So that's why I like to put my pending order here and give the market some space and room to play out before I go ahead and take that trade. And that decision making of a sell pending order, of using pending orders, has a lot to do with EQ, right? EQ, which is the emotional intelligence and the emotional ability to understand why you're making a decision, right? And not being impulsive about that decision. So that also comes from EQ. And I know a lot of people probably expect a lot of indicators and stuff like that, which your Fibonacci levels and a whole fundamental breakdown of everything, but that's not the kind of trader I am. I'm a very simple, cut, clean, straight to the point trader, price action, using what works for me. Because at the end of the day, you could sit here and try to sound smart, or you could sit here and actually make money, right? Now, EQ, which I was just talking about before, is really what makes you a good trader. So everyone has a different method. Everyone will say, well, this method is stupid and that method is stupid and you should be doing this. But at the end of the day, if you're doing something that works for you and you're able to use that using emotional intelligence, you're going to win in the long run, right? You're going to win in the long run because emotional intelligence is the key to surviving in this market, right? And not understanding the market, right? Understanding the market is 20% of the technicals, but understanding yourself is a lot more what's important. So once you're able to understand yourself and the behaviors that you make, then you could go understand why you do what you do in the market in the first place. So hence for sell pending orders, because of the mistakes that I've made from doing market execution and being too impulsive. So changing a part of my behavior to get better results. Now that's my breakdown for Gbpjpy, which I will enter once it breaks down here. And I'll probably take profit around this area, okay? Doesn't matter the order you put, that's dependent upon your account balance. And once I've entered the trade and I'm more than 50 points in profit, I'm going to put my stop loss in profit. So I'll put my stop loss in profit maybe 30 pips. If I'm 30 pips in profit, I'll put my stop loss break even. And if I'm 100 pips or more, I'll put my stop loss to 60 points to 70 points. Anything that's over like 200, like you put your stop loss 150. So just put your stop loss in profit along the way so you can secure some profit, okay? And that's my analysis, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.